is Thursday of Easter week, and thank you for tuning in today. We want to just encourage you about this coming weekend. We have put together just some interesting things and thoughts and video clips about Easter, and they will be premiered on Facebook both Friday and Saturday evenings, I believe at 7 p.m. And they are different each night, and then of course Sunday morning at 10 o'clock we will be outside for church in the parking lot, and it's Easter morning. Let me encourage you, we have not seen many of you because of the pandemic, and we're going to be outside for the next month or so, and we are trying to make it a little bit easier for people to come together, especially on Easter. And so bring your lawn chair. If you feel more comfortable wearing a mask, we encourage that. But 10 o'clock Sunday morning, we will be having classes for ages 2 to 5 during that 10 o'clock hour, but there will be no other classes that day for children, teens, or adults, no Sunday school hour afterwards. And so Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, we hope that you will join us and be back with us. And again, Friday night, Saturday night, Pastor Mark and I are sharing some different thoughts and video clips about Easter. Might be something for you to tune into and share, and of course get the word out there to others. Today I want to take you to Hebrews chapter 12, and we've been looking at the character qualities of Jesus and how we should live our lives to the best ability to be conformed to the image of Christ. And that was Paul's challenge to the church at Rome. And so I want to kind of play off of that today. We're going to be in Hebrews chapter 12. But you can imagine the first century and the Roman Empire, and they were about strength and ability. That was one of their hallmark things. They wanted to show their power. And we know the great Colosseum that still stands in Rome, and many of the negative things that happened there, but also the Olympic type games that they had. And so the Apostle Paul was very familiar with that. In fact, he so often uses athletic terms throughout his writings to be able to use that to help people understand what the Christian life is like. And so in chapter 12 of Hebrews, he once again uses something similar, and he's encouraging us to finish strong, and he uses Jesus, the author and finisher, the founder and perfecter of our faith, to be able to encourage us. And so chapter 12, verse 1 of Hebrews, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." So you can imagine the Olympic Games that Paul is probably referring to here, or some type of Olympic game. And he's using this, we're surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, let us run the race. So you can imagine this great Colosseum filled with people, and down on the floor of the Colosseum, there they are, the runners, the competitors, and they are being cheered on by this audience. Hundreds, potentially thousands of people filled this Colosseum, and they're cheering on the runners as they run the race. And so Paul uses this analogy for us. He says we're surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, and many people, of course, would refer to angelic beings and those who've gone on before us. But also we know that there are witnesses in our own lives, people that we live with or next door to, and we are running this race. And so how does he encourage us to do this? Lay aside every weight and sin that sets us back, slows us down. We watch modern day runners, Olympics, and either the shortest of short outfits or those skin tight, elastic type outfits that they run in. The lightest of weight, the lightest of drag, so that they can run as fast as possible to compete to the best of their ability. And Paul is telling us that there's things in our lives that can slow us down, that can interfere with our performance, that can hinder our ability to win the race, to run the race for the Lord. And we need to constantly be looking at and evaluating ourselves. You know, this past weekend at our church, we observed communion. And there in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, the Apostle Paul is challenging the church at Corinth, examine yourself. See if there's anything inside of you, an unconfessed sin, a behavior that is not becoming of a Christian. He says to confess that prior to communion. And so that's the same attitude that we need here in Hebrews chapter 12 when Paul says, you know, evaluate your life and get rid of anything that's going to slow you down in your performance for the Lord. Well, then he tells us, how can we do this? And what a great thought for Easter. He says, here's how you can do this. Look to Jesus, who is the founder and perfecter. I think the King James is the author and finisher of our faith. And so the foundation of Christianity, the foundation of our own faith, is built upon the life of Jesus Christ. But he's also the perfecter, the finisher of our faith. We cannot continue in Christianity without that. And so then he says, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is now seated at the right hand of the throne of God. You know, Jesus, for the joy who was set before him, that was the prize. These authors or competitors that we're talking about, much like Jesus, the author of our faith, there was an end goal. There was a prize to be won. There was something to be gained by the performance. And so Jesus, for the joy that was set before him, can you imagine enduring the cross? Why? Because the joy that was set before him, the completion, the praise and honor to his Father, the satisfaction of accomplishing what was necessary for our salvation. Jesus had that as a goal. And so our encouragement this week as we think about Easter and as we come together on Sunday to worship and to recognize the risen Savior, it is he that is our founder and completer, the finisher and the perfecter of our faith. And so as we strive to live our life, realize we're in a race, and it's easier if we set aside the things that slow us down, that hinder our performance for the Lord. Examine our lives. And so, you know, as Jesus had the goal, the prize ahead of him, the joy that was set before him, you know, there will be a prize for us as well. The Bible describes the crown and the prizes, the victory that we will have, that Jesus has for us. You know, lay not up for yourselves treasures in heaven that will be destroyed, but things that will last. And your Christian life, your walk with the Lord, is something that will definitely last, and it will be honoring to the Lord because he will reward you for that. And so on this Thursday, have a great day. We look forward to seeing you outdoors Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. We will be serving some coffee and some pastries. We have some goodie bags for children, and so we encourage you to be here with us then. Have a good day.